Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another apartment renovation. So today I am renovating this apartment, which is one of the Culpeper House apartments. I think it is 19 Culpeper House, but I'm not exactly sure. You can see the address in the top left hand side of the screen, so if you want to place it in your game, that's where it goes. But for this apartment, I wanted to do something that was very cramped, cozy, lived in, and just a nice family apartment. So it has 3 bedrooms and only 1 bathroom, and that's probably going to be very challenging because this is an 8 sim apartment. I designed it to be for a single mom and her 7 kids, and I absolutely loved this idea. Recently I got a suggestion from Neum Bradbury, I think is how you say your name, but they were wanting to see a single parent apartment with 7 kids due to low funds in kind of a smaller apartment. Now I don't think this is a low fund or budget apartment because I didn't want to restrict myself on the decorations. I really wanted to kind of go all out and make it feel very cozy and lived in and fully decorated. So I'm not exactly sure how much this apartment cost, but I think the weekly rent is about 600 simoleons, which isn't too bad. So hopefully your Sims can afford this, and I just absolutely love this idea. So thank you so much for your suggestion, and I just really enjoyed decorating it. I wanted it to be very colorful and lived in, like I mentioned. Lately, I have really been enjoying using a lot more like bolder colors in my build, and that was something that I kind of struggled with for a long time. So I've been having a lot of fun with it recently, and hopefully you guys do like it. But here you can see I am starting off by decorating the kitchen and living area. This is also going to be where the dining room is, so it's all in this tiny little space, but it definitely all works. I did play test it. I made sure the Sim could sit at each one of the chairs at the dining table, because you'll see when I place it that it's a bit cramped, and I do have to slightly push it into the wall a little bit to make enough space for the Sims to get into the kitchen area, but it definitely all worked just fine, so I was really happy about that. And then on the kitchen counters, I placed a few decorations. I used that bread box that came from Parenthood that has like the hand-drawn rainbow on it, and I think there's like a house and some handprints that look like faces. It's so adorable, and I've wanted to use that object, or I've used that object tons, but I don't think I've really used it in that particular swatch too many times. So I really wanted to use it here because I wanted to add some of those extra objects that we have in game that look handmade. I think they're mostly from Parenthood, so I use that plate with the handprint in the hallway. That item is so cute too, so I really enjoyed that. But here I am putting some items on the kitchen table, so some salt and pepper. I also used that pitcher that you can find in the debug menu. I used quite a few debug objects in this build. You'll see when I go to decorate the coffee table that I pull out some like crayons and this thing of glitter and glue. I thought that was so cute because I was originally going to use that decoration that I also think came from Parenthood that has the lunch pail with the art supplies. It's such a cute object, but I wanted to make it look a little bit more messy. So you'll see that in just a little bit, but here I'm just picking out some decorations to put on the shelf above the dining table. I use a couple of picture frames, well, a lot of picture frames actually throughout this entire build, because I wanted them to be places that you could go ahead and use the new picture frame objects that we just got in the latest update, and even some more objects if you're going to get the Moschino stuff pack that's going to be coming out within this next week to PC, and then I think early September on console, if I remember exactly. I don't know the exact dates, so I do apologize, but that's coming out very soon, and we will have so many more picture options. I absolutely cannot wait for it. I still at this time have not played around with the update ones yet, but I'm really excited for them too. I've been just trying to get back into building and getting videos to share with you guys, so I just haven't spent the time to do it, but I definitely need to. Here I'm just picking out a rug to put in the living room. I kind of struggled with that a little bit. I wanted to use something that was a bit more like bold in color but didn't have too much of a pattern on it because I felt like that would look a little bit too crazy and be kind of distracting, if you guys know what I mean. But here I'm going through the debug menu, picking out some decorations to put on the coffee table. So I have the remote, all of these random art supplies that I thought were so cute to add. So a couple of crayons, some glitter, glue, that little cup of paint, and then I also pick out a couple of books. Since this, I want this to be a very family focused apartment, so I put a toddler book up here and also also a children's book, and I thought that was really adorable. I was also going to include that piece of paper, but it looked kind of strange with the glass coffee table, so I decided not to. And then over there on the side table, I have a lamp and another picture frame that you could easily replace with your family photos. And then over here, I am decorating the entryway. So I have a bookcase in that little nook. I thought that was a really cute spot to put a bookcase. You could of course replace it with like a closet that came from Get Together if you wanted that object. I also thought about doing that, but I thought the bookcase looked really nice. And then over here I have the Parenthood board, and then I'm going through the debug menu, pulling out some sticky notes and a poster just to clutter it up a bit and make it feel that much more lived in. And then over here I do place a mirror with a side table. I decided to use this one that came from Laundry Day because it has all of the extra pillows and boxes and little baskets and stuff that I felt like made it look more lived in and cluttered, just for like extra storage and that kind of stuff. So I really like that idea. And then over here is going to be the first kids room that I am decorating. So this room ends up having 2 beds in it. So you could of course have twins or 2 kids of different ages, or some teenagers, or a teen and a kid. It doesn't really matter, but I was kind of picturing that they were more preteen age, even though we don't have that life stage in game exactly. I just didn't think that they were exactly teenagers yet, but I did think that they were really into music, so I placed some like more music related posters and things around. I did forget to place any music equipment now that I think about it, so maybe they have a violin or a guitar or something in their inventory. But here I'm trying to figure out how to fill in this awkward space, so I decided just to raise up this table and then push the beds closely to it. I thought this actually looked really nice, and I placed a lamp up here and a few decorations, and then over here on this side of the wall I placed some posters, a skateboard, that wall hanging that we got from Get Together with the musical note on it. And I was thinking about covering up this plaque. This is one of the historical apartments, and I don't think it really matters if you cover it up. It's not really an interactive object. I think it causes some like moodlets. You guys have told me before, but I do forget. But I decided just to leave it alone and not cover it up. I thought about covering up with curtains or some walls or something, but it just was not looking right to me, so left it alone, and I think that looks so much better. Over here I do place a dresser. I used this one that has all of the pictures on it, and then I also use that string of lights that has the pictures hanging from it in the window. So maybe one of these kids is really into photography too. That's definitely a possibility. And then I was also able to include a desk in here, and I put a journal up on top of it too. I also placed another journal over on that table in between the beds, so these kids can definitely write in their journal if they would like to. I placed some more posters over here. Here's that string of lights with the pictures. They're kind of merging into the frame of the window, which is kind of a shame, but I still think it looks really nice. Here I'm just picking out some decorations to put on the desk. I use that lava lamp, which I am still so in love with. I absolutely love that object, and I actually get a lot of questions whenever I use them which pack that came with, and the lava lamps came with the Strangerville game pack. And I think that's one of the coolest objects that came in that pack, and I'm so happy to have them. But that's basically it for that bedroom. I just placed the final few decorations. I think I also placed a school project in there later on, but this is going to be the bathroom, so it's the only one in the entire apartment, which would probably make gameplay really difficult and frustrating, but I feel like if you're wanting to play with a single parent and their 7 children, you kind of want a little bit of a challenge. So that's the bathroom. It's not very exciting. There is a toddler potty, which I definitely wanted to include, but there's not really a whole lot else in there because it's such a small bathroom. I didn't want to like overclutter it. There for a moment I was trying to see if I could divide this room into 2 to maybe make another bedroom, but it's a really awkwardly shaped space, so I decided just to include the nursery in this bedroom. And I get 2 bassinets in here, and I actually think it ends up being a really cute area and a really nice bedroom. So this is of course going to be the mom's room. I gave her a tablet next to her bed. She also gets a computer in here too, so there's a nice little study space and a chair and a few random decorations, a dresser, you know, basic bedroom stuff. And I really enjoyed using this rug. I used it recently, I think in my last speed build, but I had kind of forgotten about this swatch, and so I was definitely really excited to use it again in here because I think it's a really pretty rug and it matches the bed really nicely. But over here you can see I am starting to create the little nursery corner. I get a dresser over here, and then later on, like I said, I place a second bassinet because I thought I was done with the apartment. Then I counted how many Sims would be able to live in here. It could have been 8 if you wanted to have 2 Sims sleeping in the master bedroom bed, the double bed in here, but I of course wanted to stick to the idea of the 7 kids, so I added an extra bassinet to be able to make that happen, but we'll see that later on. Here I picked out this dresser that came from Parenthood, I think, but I loved it in this turquoise color. I thought it was such a fun kind of contrast to the other blues and the yellows that I was using in here. And then I have a few decorations up on top of it, and then that poster with like the mama bear and her baby. I think that item is so cute, and I always like to include it in nurseries ever since we got it. And so since that was my nursery corner, I do place it over there. I do end up having to move it once I place the other bassinet because the way the room is angled at that corner, it was trying to make the poster kind of pop outside of the apartment. You'll see that later on, but it was kind of frustrating, and I don't know. I think I make it work though, and it looks really nice. Here is going to be another kid's room. So this is a room for 2 children and a toddler. I was imagining that these kids were a lot younger, so as I was thinking with the other room, I was thinking they were more preteens. These ones, I was thinking they were like really young kids, like 5, 6, if they were going to be in real life. And I give them a lot of posters and kind of like more animal decorations. I was thinking that the kid along this side of the wall really wants to maybe have a dog or be a vet when they get older. They just absolutely love animals, so I placed a lot of dog stuff over there. And then on the other side of the room, I don't think I really had too much of a plan. I just placed some like I think like hand drawings or something over there, so maybe they're a little bit more into art projects or something. And then the toddler corner is just a cute little toddler's corner with a few little pictures and stuff. I also gave him this dresser that I also think came from Parenthood. So if you don't have Parenthood, I would definitely probably suggest that if you wanted to download this, that you have Parenthood, because I used a lot of stuff from that pack in this apartment. It's probably my top, probably my favorite game pack. If I'm going to be honest, Parenthood is probably my favorite. I use it all of the time, and it's definitely in my top 3 out of all of the packs for The Sims 4 because it's so good. But here I was trying to move that poster. For some reason, I couldn't move it or delete it, so it's kind of stuck there. The one with the dog with the different like dog parts on it that's supposed to be like a vet poster. Either way, I still thought it looked nice there. Here, I'm trying to figure out how I can fit another bassinet in here. I'm seeing if I could place another like toddler bed somewhere or the bassinet somewhere else, but I make it work, and I think it looks so cute in the end, and I just absolutely love the way it turned out. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this apartment, and yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy the screenshot. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!
On the tip of my tongue, it's like poison running through my veins, but I won't back down. I will spit you out once again.